Welcome welcome to the vlog about business, about innovation, about the change, about the disruption and hustle, whatever you want to hear. In this vlog, we'll be bringing people to talk about these things that I just mentioned. But let's start from our companies. And in this first vlog, I will try to interview my good friend Vuk. But he will, I'm sure, ask me some questions, but we will dedicate one other show about content. You will be asking me questions, yeah?
I can be a host.
Yeah! Long lost dream. Okay, so we are talking about Vuk and his company. I mentioned some words: innovation. I mentioned hustle. I mentioned
disruption.
Grind.
Hustle.
Yeah.
Hustle. Disruption.
What can you tell me about CreITive? CreITive is your company.
Yes, I'm one of the founding partners.
Yep.
CreITive is a digital innovation agency. Yep. So basically, what's happening today is that companies will either go digital or they will die.
When you say they will die, do you really mean that? Do you really think that companies will really die if they don't change?
Look what's happening. You have Marriott versus Airbnb.
Okay.
You have Ford versus Uber.
Yeah.
You have Walmart versus Amazon. So you see where I'm going now.
Yeah. The biggest, then the richest, and the
richest,
wealthiest.
The most established organizations are currently struggling to fight newly established tech-oriented businesses that are core tech in the core. So there was a dot-com bubble like in 2000 year 2000 that exploded. But I think that even Wall Street sensed that there is a future in internet, and now this future came a long way and on a different door entered the global market. Yeah. And now what you want to say and what your sentence was. Businesses will change or they will die? Well, basically, that's what we're saying today. I mean, you will notice there was a bubble back in 2000s and it exploded. Currently, what we are looking at is, again, creation of one bubble. There is a lot of startups, a lot of people are investing in digital, a lot of people are orienting an organization orienting towards digital.
Okay.
But what is going to happen soon is that a lot of those digitally oriented, digital savvy organizations, products are going to collapse as well because of the process and how those digital products are actually built.
It's not on our path of conversation, but I have to mention venture capital funds or angel investors or whoever is investing in digital, they're heavily investing in so big number of companies.
Yeah.
Because 99.5% $99.5 billion
were invested in startups last year in US.
Wow.
For instance.
But what I wanted to say, 99.9% of those companies will die or collapse or whatever, and only 1% will live. But if you're next Uber, if you're next Airbnb, if you're next Amazon, you're
going to big win.
Yes. I remember Gary Vee. Oh, I mentioned him first time. No, it's early in the vlog.
We already started.
Yeah, he missed
Uber investment.
And he said if he would have invested 10,000 or 20,000.
He missed the opportunity to write a check on $25,000. Today, that check would be worth like $300 million. So it's crazy.
And he says he's not sorry. I'm not sorry. No, like 100 million. Okay, there are missed opportunities. So everybody has, but he's aware of his. Okay, so back to companies are companies
are basically looking at the following scenario. Either they will start innovating, but we're talking about very fast, agile innovation, or they're not going to die, but they're going to lose the position of leaders. But what they are facing now as a big issue is that they're so large, they're operating basically like well-oiled machines that for them, innovating became a challenge.
Yeah, they're so big. Like
They're so big.
actually, there was one TED talk. I cannot find it.
Yeah.
If anybody can find it, I'm searching for it for 1 month. I was watching. The guy was chief innovation of Yahoo,
Yeah.
and then he left Yahoo. Why? Because he said big companies have in their DNA the antidote for innovation.
Immune system, very strong immune system.
Immune system, yeah. No, we don't. But what is the new way? What big companies can do to innovate?
They need to reinvent their key business activities. They need to switch the mindset to being way more agile and accept and embrace innovation as the only way forward. But that needs to come from the top management down.
I know examples.
Yeah.
I know examples where companies appointed someone to be chief
innovation
officer
or
digital transformation. Lab, digital transformation.
Yeah.
And I know that those people do not know what digital transformation is.
Well, digital transformation in previous couple of years became a buzzword.
Yeah.
So it's basically you need to communicate digital transformation because of all the stakeholders who already invested in your business. If you're not mentioning digital transformation, meaning something wrong is going on. You need to talk about it. But preaching about digital transformation and actually doing something about it is a completely different story. So you're absolutely right about it.
Okay, so you jump in there.
Yeah.
CreITive.
So basically, our role is to act as a support team for organizations, innovation, and digital transformation initiatives.
How it starts? This process, how it starts?
Yeah,
there are some steps.
Any process naturally starts with ideation. So you need to come up with the idea about what do you want to solve, or what is the opportunity you want to use.
But what if I don't know? What if I'm like
that's the first step. You need to find what is the problem that you want to solve.
Okay.
Meaning that you need to discover your pains, see what hurts you, and that's a starting point. So realizing what are the possible fields of your business that could be improved, and that's a great first step.
Yeah, if you're crazy, first you have to realize that you're crazy.
First you need to realize that you're crazy, so you go to the psychiatrist. They say that the first step for someone to be cured is to accept that they need to go to the doctor.
Okay. You're doctors.
We're doctors.
Okay.
Innovative doctors.
Okay. So I have some factory for, I don't know, sugar factory.
For instance,
and then I heard all the companies are transforming. We have to. I don't know.
We need to transform.
We
need to transform.
Then I call you. No.
Then you call us. Yeah, and we step in and we help you transform. Just kidding.
Okay.
So we basically the first step would be to work with you to discover the pain and how that pain could be solved. So come up with a lot of ideas about possible solutions, but in a very fast, agile way, test those solutions and see what solutions could fly. So it's more about failing early and realizing what is going to potentially succeed in the future before investing a lot of time and money in digitally transforming whole your business so you can measure results at the end.
That means you're kind of a new department in the company.
We could act. Basically, you hire your digital transformation innovation department. But usually what happens is that we help already established digital transformation and innovation departments within organizations to make actual success with their initiatives.
So basically, as you're working with big clients such as
Visa, for instance, or Microsoft, so we work with their digital transformation innovation leaders to help them in their process of digitally transforming their own business.
Okay, and that's it. Is this the story of CreITive, or there is more?
Well, that's a long story short.
No, but the thing is, there are big companies for consultancy companies which are working towards transforming and advising the companies how to transform.
But they're not making success. I'm going to bring you maybe closer. What is the problem they're facing today? So large organizations today are operating, as already mentioned, like well-oiled machines. There is a lot of processes, there is a lot of regulations, there is a lot of targets to be achieved, there is a lot of answers to be given to your superiors and so on. So when it happens from time to time, then someone has a crazy good idea for a new product, usually that idea and that initiative is being killed by, as already what you mentioned, immune system, which is being raised, because at that point, okay, I'm coming from a product department,
okay,
and I have a crazy idea,
okay,
and I say, okay, I have this crazy idea which is going to completely disrupt our company. Usually what happens? Legal department. Strategy. Where is the budget? That's not planned for this year. No, I don't want to support you. I'm going to risk my own role within the company. So basically, people's initiatives to change something are killed by the immune system and antibodies which are launched at the idea. So
I remember. Sorry, just because every story here has to be something around me. You know,
we have to start talking about me. Okay,
take me for example.
But I was going there.
No. I wanted to say I was working in a big TV station. And I wanted to implement some innovations that I wanted to achieve, and they told me, okay, my manager told me, oh, it's nice, go to this manager. I went to this manager. Oh, it's nice, go to this manager, go to this manager. And I was lost, and it was like 6 months I was trying to implement something, and then I said, oh, I have a better idea. I will start my own company, and I will offer this service to this TV station.
Yeah, I'm going to make a lot of money. And that's how you became a millionaire.
And this is how I started my own company. Like, I wanted to innovate because the system, the TV station was innovative and amazingly successful. Yeah. But if you want to implement some new innovations, crazy innovations,
I think you gave me a great introduction to one important thing that I would like to mention. You were working in the organization, and that organization didn't allow you to be innovative.
Yeah.
What organizations should do? They should give their employees freedom to be innovative, and give them tools to innovate as much as possible with some minimal investments. But what is happening then? Even if you have a good idea, and a company gives you the freedom to innovate, meaning they give you some resources, they give you some extra time so you can do a couple of ideation workshops, you do a bit of prototyping, you prove that concept, okay, it's a solid case. That idea in such a big organizations is not communicated at all. So because of lack of communication about that idea, when it comes for your superiors to give you, or business unit owners to give you the support for the given idea, you're like, whoa, what's going on? When did you come up with this idea? What happened? And they're surprised. So what you should do, and that's where you are coming in with your business.
To the rescue.
But a very important aspect of innovation that we should cover, and that we will be covering throughout our series, is internal communication. So if internal initiatives are not communicated well internally, the chances of success of that initiatives are very low. So that's where I could ask you some questions about content production and how to. So okay, I'm creative. Okay.
Yeah.
I run the workshop. Yeah. It's an ideation workshop. Yeah. How can you help me distribute that idea around the organization? That's where we are facing another challenge.
It's interesting, you know, when somebody asks me what I do, and I mostly do, we are a video production company, digital storytelling company, which is very important to say, not just video production company, but when I say, you know, we are a video production company, and then they say, you do TV commercials. First of all, TV is dead. TV be dead. I'm sorry to say, but it's dying, long and painfully. Only because advertising agency, but this is subject for your asking me. Okay. This is Gary Vee, Gary Vee asking Gary Vee. One thing is, you're working TVC. No, I do mostly for companies. And I said, I do mostly business to business communication. And then they say, you do corporate videos. Yes, somehow, yes. But it's very difficult to explain that what we are actually doing, we are using mostly video, and other content also as a digital storytelling tool, not for promotion but for communication. For
communication, and that's where everything is changing.
Everything is changing. Everything is more personalized. Everything is more direct. Everything is done customized for the purpose.
Yep.
You were doing the video for one meeting. That's it. How many people saw this video? 5.
Yeah.
Was it successful? Yes.
But what you should do?
This is no. This is what you should do.
No, what you should do if not that. Okay, that's if I would approach now.
Yeah.
A video production company, I would tell them, okay, guys, look, I need to cover this meeting or I need to cover the workshop. First, I would expect, and probably what most of the video production companies would give me would be a video, one video from the workshop, right?
Yeah. That's the where classical video production approach meets new digital age. Like, okay, we have to have video. It's simple. Just take some videographer and film it. But what you do now, it's exactly what I said just now, was do customized video. And my first question would be, who do you make this video for?
Yeah, that's right.
And if you are making it for external audiences, okay, that's one audience. If you're making it for partners, that's the other audience. If you're making it for this and that, and as I mentioned, your visa video that we did was seen by 5 people.
Yeah,
we had that in. We did this video. We filmed this video in Singapore, in Dubai and Belgrade.
Yeah, and
it was a complex production, simple but complex production. Yeah. Simple but complex. Same but different.
Same but different.
But it was, the purpose was for 5 people to see it.
Yeah.
So the tech advanced that much that we have a professional camera here in our office, which is not everybody can have it. Like some lights and you can make storytelling out of everything. This conversation we are having every day, but now it will be filmed and you can play it to anyone who wants to know more about your business.
And just to kind of make the overlap between these, because it's interesting to mention, one of the key advantages of facilitating a workshop for the client is that you're gathering all of the stakeholders around the problem that you're trying to solve. Why is that important? Because if you're solving the problem based on the feedback that you're getting from one stakeholder, your solution will not be tailored for the rest of the stakeholders. But okay, you went a step further. You gathered all of the stakeholders and you created the solution which is tailored for all of the stakeholders. But if you don't communicate that solution with all of the stakeholders throughout the process of building the solution, when it comes for embracing and adapting that solution, probably you're going to fail.
Yeah, and one more thing to add on top of that. If you want someone involved deeply, don't just involve him and play him video.
Yeah.
Record him.
Make them a part of the video.
Yes. If you record me about CreITive, and we are talking about CreITive, I'm more involved about CreITive.
You become
that's the
part of the story.
Yeah, you become the part, and you become emotionally attached. And when this, even if this stakeholder like CEO is not there, ask him for some spare time of his and say, we want your opinion on this innovation we have. What innovation? But what we did, the design thinking. You did the design thinking. Yeah, we design thinking and do it this hackathon, whatever,
Exactly.
And then he will be informed. And when he receives the video, not just that he will be most efficiently informed about this, but he will be part of it, and he will even more easily agree to this innovation.
Big changes in large organizations are not happening overnight, nor they can happen easily. They require a lot of people to be involved and a lot of people to be engaged in that change.
Engaged.
So if you don't engage all of the people throughout the change that you're trying to make, most likely you're going to fail in that change. Meaning that from the very start, early on, engaging a CEO doesn't necessarily mean bringing him in on the shooting. But if you shoot a video on the actual workshop where you're solving a big problem, and that video ends up in his newsletter, he will be informed from the early days.
Sure. Instead of sending him 18 pages of
instead of sending him 18 pages and nobody's going to read
it. Okay, back to CreITive and digital innovation agency. So what is your pitch line today to the company? Because we are talking for the audience which maybe doesn't know what the innovation is and transformation is. But when you go, let's say you go to some multinational company, which are your client? Which are what is your target clients, like fintech companies or?
Well, usually it needs to be a large or enterprise size organizations which are involved in innovation.
Okay.
Which already understand that they're under threat of being disrupted and they need to innovate quickly.
Okay. So you don't want to waste your time educate someone that they need.
But look, that's a good strategy.
I'm not crazy. I don't need a doctor. Then you jump in.
That's a good strategy, but once we are done with all of the people who understand, then we're going to switch to those who don't understand. In the meantime, they will catch up.
That's Forbes 500 companies, yeah?
Exactly, yeah. Forbes 100 and 500 companies usually, yeah.
Okay. Is there Forbes 10 companies?
I guess we can.
But you do.
We can make that list.
Okay. So you're approaching one of Forbes 100 companies, and they say, "Oh, these guys are digital innovation companies. Sounds good, but we don't know what they do." Okay, and we are at some lunch. Okay, we are eating lunch, healthy lunch. Okay. And what would you tell me? Hi, I'm Vuk, and I'm from CreITive, and
usually.
You would say, how it's going? How it's going? Not to say no more. Okay.
Usually the conversation doesn't really start with the pitch. Usually you get to know someone and then immediately try to get what hurts them from
that's good.
When you start your conversation.
So your first is old sales direction. Listen,
and that's really important today. I think not a lot of people are actually listening, especially in service providing businesses.
What?
Not a lot.
Got you there. Okay.
So I mean, it's at the end it's sales, and whether you're on a casual networking, on a business networking, you're always trying to sell something. You know what I mean? So it's about listening. It's about listening when you're talking to people about social topics or you talk about business. So listening, based on that, you can tailor your pitch, because what we do can be communicated in a couple of ways. Whether you're talking about innovation purely, or digital transformation, or developing a digital product, for instance, different person will absorb what you're telling them differently. Yeah,
because if you say we do this, I'm not interested. Maybe
you have an amazing startup. Okay, they are innovators, but for them, communication, developing of a digital product would be probably more appealing to hear. So they will understand it better. So we are kind of have that struggle that we are in the industry which is new, and the whole digital thing is quite new. So we need to adapt. It's not like I'm a lawyer.
I finished my university.
I'm a banker.
There is no university for digital transformation.
Yes, but we if you want to make me say it like in one sentence, we help companies in their innovation and digital transformation initiatives.
Good sentence.
Which should be, for anyone involved in innovation and digital transformation, should be enough to understand what we are doing.
Yeah, for the first time ever, I really didn't hear before this sentence that you just said. For the first time ever, I like your one-liner. One-liner pitch. Let's see if we are recording this.
So if you would ask me how to pitch what we are doing, basically we're in a very new industry and in a new age. So what we are doing, different people, you need to pitch to different people in a different way.
Okay.
So we are helping companies in their innovation initiatives. We are supporting their digital transformation efforts, or we are helping you to build, minimize the risk of failure and maximize the chances of success for your digital product.
So you're kind of a safe haven, how do you say this? For the companies that want to innovate, don't know how, don't know actually what, and to make it most efficiently, so they don't lose too much money or time.
To summarize it, it's like that. We are supporting companies in their innovation and digital transformation initiatives.
Okay, I'll take the cut from the previous one, my reaction to it, because I like this sentence very much, and this is the first time I fully agree, because up until now, even this is so new to you also. You are doing it for a long time.
We've been doing this.
Summarize it in a sentence or in a a paragraph or in a pitch to someone.
For any business that you do, the moment when you wake up and you feel what you're doing deep inside of you, and you're 100% sure, yes, this is what I'm doing. At that point, you can explain to you can explain to anyone. You know?
Yeah, for sure. If you don't know, you just look like a crazy salesman. This is a very good for you, but why? Very, very good for you. You know, like you don't know. But is it maybe because you were the one to write this manifesto about the latest?
If you want to bring that up, I'll spend a lot of nights writing that manifesto, so I can explain to myself first. How do we help companies? And
do you think this video will help others understand what you wanted to say in this manifesto? Within your company, within your company, you have 50 people working for you. You know, like you have to communicate in each of them. This video will be seen by millions of people.
Couple of millions. Come on, man.
So you have to communicate. But
I'm not here for hundreds.
Okay, then so you say you don't pitch. You pitch differently to this and that. But okay, you meet some CEO of the company, and he said, "Okay, if you're a digital innovation company, my shareholders are putting a pressure on me to do innovation. How can you help me?"
Yeah, no, I imagine myself in front of the CEO asking me the question. I became kind of nervous.
Okay.
But as I was saying, so we can help their innovation departments and digital transformation departments.
But I don't have. I have my sugar factory. But I have to do.
Yeah, we can help you address the threat of being disrupted and use the opportunity.
What is disrupted?
Disrupted.
This is what I'm saying. You have to bring it down to CEO. You're not talking with the innovation officer, innovation or whoever, CXO, CIO.
Without having a CEO on board of the company who doesn't understand the word disruption or innovation,
you are dead. You have to find someone.
I think you would need to spend a bit more time than just pitching him a line to bring him up to speed so you can sell him the service.
Okay,
you know what I mean.
So we skip that CEO, yeah?
We skip
would you skip it?
Today I would skip Sugar Factory CEO, yes. I would focus,
Sugar Daddy, yeah?
I would focus on some enterprise level organization.
Okay.
It would be a slightly easier sell.
Okay. So, let's say some big fintech company wants to innovate, but they're so big, like thousands of employees or whatever, thousands of ideas, but they have to. Do you go to disrupt whole company, or you're changing only one product or brand, whatever?
It's hard to disrupt and to change the whole company. I mean, we're talking about multinational organizations, so usually start small. So start with disrupting and changing one team and how one team is thinking, and then start with one idea, one solution, one product. And then start spreading that whole culture around the organization, which is eventually going to change the whole organization.
Okay, this gives me a much better picture on what you're doing with Visa and with Microsoft. You started small, but
you're kind of I'm looking for a nicer word, but like a virus, which starts spreading around a company. But
that's even worse than my waterfall. That's even worse than waterfall is bad.
This is a cure.
Virus is
this is a cure that you inject, and then it starts spreading around the organization, curing the bad habits.
Okay. So and then what do you do? They say. Do they say we want to innovate, or they say we have to think about the product, how to make it more efficient?
Well, it usually comes from couple of angles. Either they are looking at a serious problem they're trying to solve, so we help them solve the problem.
Can you name me any problem, any company?
For instance,
don't mention the companies, just mention the problem.
For instance, recently we have worked with one big insurance organization that was facing the problem where their patients suffering from diabetes were claiming insurance somewhere around 4 times per year. So obviously, from the insurance perspective, they wanted to lower the number of claims throughout the year, help their patients live a healthier life, and therefore make savings on claims of
in previous
their policies.
In previous age they would do billboards and they would do campaign like live healthier, whatever.
They would do some kind of trainings and coaches and stuff like that.
Where does digital jumps in this equation?
Well, look, digital became an essential part of everyday life of almost any person on earth, and the best channel for communication today is digital. We are spending, probably you would be scared to see actually the number of hours and you're not actually aware of that, how much you're staring at your phone throughout the day. So the phone became the number one platform for communication with most of of this planet. So usually that's where we start, to see how we can leverage technology and digital to solve problems, and then approach customers and those problems from that angle. So in this particular case, we've been doing a discovery sessions to see what could be the possible solutions, and as the outcome of that phase, we decided that we should go for a mobile application, which is going to be kind of a lifestyle assistant to people suffering from diabetes. So on a daily basis, tracking their behavior, their habits, helping them live a healthier life, but not only healthier life for people suffering from diabetes, which means a specific meal plan, visits to a doctor, reminders about their medicines, active life, doing workouts and so on.
So you mentioned this discovery phase. This is actually the first phase where you jump in.
So basically, in most of the cases, it starts with the discovery phase, unless the organization is kind of advanced and they already been through a discovery phase and know exactly what they want to go for.
And then the conclusion was, it's a lifestyle mobile app for people with diabetes.
Exactly. So that was the outcome of the phase one.
Is there any what's next? Next phase.
Naturally, so what you should do, what people are most of the time making a mistake, even if they do a discovery phase, and they come up with a solution, they straight go to development of that solution, building the whole product, investing a lot of money. But what you want to do before that, you want to prove that concept. So what we did for this client in particular, we built a prototype that could help us collect the customer feedback about using the actual system before the system is actually built. So proofing the concept with a minimal investment and failing early and fast as many times as you need to reach the stage of the product where customer will say, yeah, I think this is something that I will use in the future.
Okay. So and then you did all you're doing all the fine tuning and the bits and bytes or whatever. And what is after this? We prove the concept and we say we want to go forward. And what is the next stage?
That's the trick. So the next stage is a development, building,
full development of
building of the product, where you're still trying to keep it simple and small and build an MVP, minimal viable product. So minimal set of features which are going to meet the expectations of the customer.
I like how you explain me like a 10-year-old. Which you should do. Which you should do. Which you should. Minimum viable product. It's a product that works. With the smallest number of features. Let's say.
So MVP in our world means building a minimal set of functionalities for their product that are enough for customer to use it as a stage one.
Okay, so after prototype, it's a minimal viable product.
But there is an important thing that needs to happen before you reach the stage of building the product. Is the support from your seniors, executives, and support of the company. So that's where organizations are facing most of the challenges, actually launching the ideas and taking the ideas, making the ideas reality. Coming back to the topic of communication and so on, that's a very important part, because in the phases of discovery and design, which is a prototyping phase, you need to build a very strong case about your initiative internally, meaning it's based on customer feedback, market research, iterations of improving the actual prototype. So when you approach your seniors and executives for a support and for a sponsorship, you have a very strong case to present to them, which is being communicated all of the time.
Okay.
So they're not being introduced with the initiative. Well, all of a sudden there is some kind of initiative. You're asking for some budget. They are already informed about the initiative, and then when they need to give you the actual support, the initiative is supported by a lot of metrics, data, and customer feedback that is very important for the product.
So it's not a surprise when they say,
so it's not a surprise.
Yeah, we have a...
So you build the whole story, and you were mentioning storytelling. So you build a whole story about your initiative and increase the chances that initiative, whether good or eventually bad, is going to be supported and go forward. So
basically, what Gary Vee, second time, is mentioning always that every company is a media company, but this time every team in the company is a media team. Like you have to create your own storyline about these products. Okay, so we are going in design phase. Now we will do this and that. 2-3 minute video or the testimonial statement. Okay, then report from the discovery session. A report about prototype.
I mean, I'm fully familiar and understand your approach to content production, but I think it's worth spending a bit of time explaining what do you mean by having one report, having 3 videos, and having it personal. I'm good with asking questions. Like, I'm practicing.
The thing is,
what would your approach be to a workshop? In instance, okay, we have a workshop, we have a problem that we're trying to solve, then stakeholders and CreITive team helping them out.
Yes. What we will definitely do is use our framework called waterfall, content waterfall.
Okay.
So virus is bad, very bad, and waterfall is bad, but it explains what actually it's a framework. Content waterfall is a framework where we try to use the most out of the material that we use, that we film during only one event, one session, or one happening, let's say.
Getting the most out of the investment that you're making.
Yes. One of the most expensive things in video is a crew on set. So if you have a crew on set, let's film 10 videos, let's film 20 videos and use them. First, when you use it as a promotion, it's good for social media. You can if you come. I will just give you an example. We had we were filming a round table where 12 people were involved, and it was lasting for 3 hours. As you know, we delivered 57 different pieces of content. 57 different pieces of content, which can be used in different ways. You mentioned that there were few stakeholders in this event of discovery workshop. So there is a team organizing the discovery workshop. There is maybe some seniors
and different stakeholders from the same organization, different departments, different levels.
So what we would definitely do when we talk about communication is we would make different stories to different audiences. That means if talking about the team who organizes this, and they say we want to go public with this, then okay, we will make one video. We want to inform our senior management, we will do a different video. We want to give more attention to this problem, we make another video. When I say video, I mean content. So it's can be audio, it can be, this vlog will be available on podcast also.
But that's the whole point, right? Using the time that you invested, 3 hours. To deliver multiple types of content, right?
Targeted to the multiple audiences and communicated different messages to these audiences.
Making it personalized, right?
And this is another level. When you have like in this event, we have 12 people there. We interviewed 9 people, and each of them got personalized video. So because we wanted, client wanted this event to be heard around the region.
But that's the whole point. I mean, you have large organizations, tens of thousands of employees. Okay, they're building their career in that organization. They want their initiatives to be heard of in their organization. What's the point? I mean, you do a great thing in Dubai. Nobody in Singapore, London or New York will know about your idea most likely. Maybe your office or your floor will be aware of it, you know what I mean? Yeah. But with content, personalized content, you can share it on LinkedIn, right?
Even you, with your content, even me, with this content, you can inform your company, your partners, your employees, your targeted audience, and me also, you know, like, so information, there is a lack of whatever we think now, and we are spending how many hours watching on the phone, there is a lack of information. How do we know this? Because most watched content on internet today is user-generated content. Cat falls from the table, 5 million views. Whoa! Can you repeat it? No.
No. Yeah.
That means that we are still in a primitive. No, I wouldn't say primitive, but we are in the early stage of developing our consciousness about media, about content, and everything. So, in your case, when you have this discovery workshop, when you have this prototype done, or you have MVP, I would inform each and every audience, and maybe sometimes this audience is only one person.
Yeah, it could be the case.
Who is a major decision maker, you know, like you can keep him informed about everything.
It all ends up at the word communication. Two words, internal communication.
Yes.
Which is followed with the external communication afterwards, of course.
Of course, yeah.
But in order to reach the stage of externally communicating an initiative, you need to communicate it internally.
Okay, just one question, just to go to the point, exactly what you said. How long does it take from this design thinking stage to, okay, we want to not just, I don't want to go through stages, but everybody to use this product. You know? How long it is? 3 months, 6 months?
I guess the question is kind of tough, but what should happen if the organization is ready for that? We should be ready in 3 months. Okay. But due to a lot of processes, organizations, approvals, and stakeholders involved, you need to stretch it a bit. But ideally, what you want to do, you want to accelerate the whole metabolism of the company and speed it up so it throws out solutions and products on monthly basis.
Okay. So let's say 3 months, or let's say 6 months. Let's say 6 months.
But let's say 3 months.
Let's say 3 months. let's say 3 months. So imagine if you have several events going on in these 3 months, several levels of communication, whatever. Imagine how much in quantity,
how much content you produce.
Imagine in 3 months, in several events and everything, and then you say, we want to go public. Then you have more than half of the material needed and the story told, because this would be deep dive into the. One thing is awareness. Okay, you create awareness by creating new videos, whatever. But if someone you want to create a website about it, or some explanation of this app or something, imagine how many stories you will have and content like for a year.
For a year.
Like
for a year.
That's
or for a very, very, very heavy month.
Whatever.
But I think the great question that you ask from time to time is, if the videos are free, how many videos would you record?
Yeah.
I mean, if the videos were free, I would literally record the video for everything. Instead of an email, I would record the video. I could do that with a phone.
No, you could do that with a phone, but do you know that there are some services offering video newsletters and which are okay, you follow the statistics and everything. But I would really, and you know that I record most of meetings, and it's easy. The easiest way to communicate with my team is, okay, listen to this meeting. Today I had a meeting like this. Listen to this meeting, take this from this meeting, and listen to. So it's easy, to communicate when you have a content from.
It's just about changing the mindset, changing the. Myself in the first place. I mean, making myself feel comfortable in front of the camera is a process. You
don't look stiff at all.
you used to spend more time in front of the camera than behind. But I think there is that barrier that people need to overcome as well.
But you forgot that the camera is there and that it is
Yes,
on.
now
And
at this
I didn't forget to check.
That first step that people need to take going towards content or the video and the video recording is the hardest one.
They should start doing it.
They just need to start.
Yeah,
that's
that's the thing, like spend some time with it and okay. Yeah. Let's go back to the stages. So we said discovery phase, whatever that tool you will be using, and whatever. Let's go then prototype, then
design,
MVP.
Prototype phase is the MVP phase. MVP phase
ends up with
it ends up with the MVP.
Okay,
it ends up with a product which can be tested with the real users.
Okay.
Now, what is important in this phase, which is already comparing to previous two, is already a mature phase. You're building something. You're working with something tangible. Is again listening.
Mm-hmm.
Listening. It's an iterative process.
What?
Iterative.
Listening.
Iterative process of listening, where you wanna separate your build in sprints. Okay, now we're touching technicalities again. Agile approach, but you need to be agile, meaning building the product in a way where you are capable and able to test it out, adapt it, listen to the customers and listen to the feedback from the users, adapt it, build it until you reach the stage where you feel, okay, this is enough, we're comfortable
and
with
that's
this.
the
users
product.
That's the first version of the product that you can actually test how it works on the market.
Is that beta version?
It would be called beta version or a pilot or...
Yeah, because I was in a conference and the guy from Coca-Cola said, we are living in a world of beta versions. You don't have time to go alpha or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I always thought, whenever I mentioned beta, I was looking at it like a first version. But actually,
okay, so
that
you have
stage
a product
is already mature, and then at that point,
and then you finish your work there.
No, that's definitely it's not finished. It could be also looked as the beginning of actual.
Like
works.
you create a video. Where is the distribution?
Exactly. Yeah, so the distribution is the next step. Now, the phase which is coming after you hit the market is again listening. So
really?
you continue listening.
You
continue listening your users. Start tracking the data, collecting a lot of data about their behavior, their habits, their response to different features, and then start adapting the product in one never-ending story. We're going to future develop that, scale that product to different markets globally, acquire more users, and so on.
The last is basically scaling.
The last is a never-ending.
There is no last.
Yes.
There is no last, but let's say the scaling is
scaling of the solution. Yes.
Yeah. You did this app for a region, or you did it for a global? This app that we mentioned for this diabetes.
For now, it's regional.
It's
regional. We are now entering soon the MVP phase that we will be then building for the region. But we have we have other examples of already spread. So usually, what happens? User accept the app regionally. It's kind of a second or third tier of proof of concept that you have. It's a market validation. Then you start spreading it globally. So start acquiring different regions, but in most of the cases, actually, you need to customize and adapt products for different regions as well. So your product needs to be live.
Okay, so as a sugar factory, sugar daddy, as a sugar factory CEO, I would have to have a global ideas of spreading the business and inform myself a little bit about innovation, and then just show the wish to innovate.
No, you just need to come here to this podcast as a guest, so we disrupt you.
Really?
Bring you up to speed, and then we can talk business.
Okay. That's a good conclusion for today's talk. So we discussed about CreITive, which is a digital innovation agency helping companies innovate and digitally transform.
You got it almost.
Almost,
right.
yes. I was there. I was there. Okay, and that's the beginning, which my outtake from this is listen. When you listen, and then listen,
and then what? Communicate.
Communicate, communicate in each and every stage, yeah. In each and every stage, and then you can have innovation even in the multinational companies. We said Forbes 100 companies or Forbes 500 companies, which are whose immune system works against the innovation. Something like this, yeah.
I think that my pitch was good enough since you summarized that.
I'm trying to. This is actually the vlog and podcast about me learning about different businesses.
You're going to actually end up like really wise.
Very clever guy, you know. Like, okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This was the test phase. This was the discovery phase.
This was the discovery phase for
vlog and podcast.
How are we calling this vlog?
The change. Let's
change.
Say. Yeah, okay. The change.
Thank you.
And don't forget to do the change.
Okay,
and listen.